morning students, welcome back to the class. We have completed 3 units, right? And after your exams we are going to start our new unit, that is 4th unit, right? Third unit including the grammar part, even the letter writing, personal letter, I have explained you. Now we have entered to 4th unit. See, the situation when it ends we can't decide it. In the pandemic situation, it is not in our hands. So it is very carefully to be concentrated on your studies. Okay. At any cost, however, we have a gathering through online classes. At least we are going to meet. Okay. Shall we go into the lesson? And our 4th unit is a very important one, a very good topic. That is environment. Environment, a very important quality now which we are going to face. Even this corona situation also, we are suffering due to this corona, because of the reason is that we are going to damage environment in many ways. That's all. If everything is clear, nothing will disturb us. Is not it? What is any wrong thing, if it goes, that impacts our nature, right? Environment. And if we have disturbed it, it disturbs us. That's what we have done. That's why this corona has affected us. And not only corona, even many situations, the man himself is going to do harm to him. He is going to cut a branch on where he had sat. Repeatedly I am telling it. Not only one person, everyone, if they think that why we have to do many wrong things. Once if we think, recently the rain floods, because of rains, because of this flood, many of the people, they have lost their shelters, right? They have suffered. Why? Our irresponsibility is only making it. We are going to throw the garbage on the roads, plastic usage, many of the wrong things we are going to do, and we are going to suffer. That's what the reason is. And this is a speech, it is a speech delivered by by an Red Indian chief, Seattle. A Seattle, a person, he is a person who wanted to protect the nature, okay, to save his land a century ago, 100 years back. He's a great fighter. Mr. Seattle is a Red Indian chief. He's a Red Indian chief. He was going to fight to save his land 100 years back. It is a fight of 100 years. See his emotions, how he is going to express his emotions to save his land, and what message he is going to give to the people. You are going to know in this lesson. This is a lesson. It is a speech delivered by a Red Indian chief, Seattle. Why he had given a speech? To save his land. To save his land, he delivered this speech. Okay? The main intention to give this speech is that only to save his land. And he was going to give a message to the people that how we are going to do harm to animals. And finally the lesson is, what is man without beast? What is beast here? Beast means what? What is the meaning of beast? Animals. Right? See here, we are going to be form of, we will be depending, our life cycle will be dependency. Right? A dependency cycle we have. Right? If we have removed the beast, then there will be no man on the earth. Can we imagine a planet without trees, animals? Only a man only has to live. Is it possible? Impossible. Without nature, man is zero. So that's what he wanted to convey in his speech. Shall we go to the lesson? Page number 67 if you open. But before you go to the lesson, here if you see a picture, the elephant. What do you think the picture is about? What can you do to save nature? The selfishness of human beings destroy the environment. Give suitable example to substantiate your opinion. See, a very good statement he has given. This picture shows, you see here, everything was dry. This elephant, even though the biggest animal on the earth, right, on the land, is elephant. It was dead. See, without nature, how animals survive? Without animals, how a man will live? It is impossible, right? And how human beings are damaging the earth, damaging the nature. He said to mention some of the points, okay, at the beginning of the lesson. Now we are going to start the lesson, page number 67 if you see. How beautiful it looks, the picture. Nature, water, birds, animals, trees. What a beautiful feeling to imagine. We don't get, even with lakhs or crores, such a recreation. It is highly impossible. Okay? People choose different ways to protect the environment. Here is a speech delivered by a Red Indian chief Seattle more than a century ago to save his land. Chief Seattle became world famous for a moving speech he made in 1854. In which year he delivered it? In 1854. Just before his lands were taken from him and his people. Seattle's words resonate very well in the environmental community and are in fact considered to be something like a gospel of the greats. So, what these revolution which was brought by Seattle, it had changed the thinking of the people. It had changed the thinking of people. Actually, the intention behind of his speech was to save his land. But when he started this movement, when he started his speech, you know, it had led to a gospel of the greens. A gospel. He wanted to bring a revolution in to change to save the nature. He wanted to bring a revolution. He would like to bring a change. Okay, that had led on. And how can you buy or sell the sky? The warmth of the land. The idea is strange to us. If we don't own the freshness of air and the sparkle of water, how can you buy them from us? So, actually, why he had started this? A gospel of greens. A gospel of greens. Why he delivered the speech? Because they have taken the lands from Seattle. They have taken the lands. For a reason, they have taken the lands. He didn't like it and he started it. And he's asking a question. Okay, you will do like this. You are going to spoil the nature. But later on, when you are going to do like that, even how we are going to buy groceries, we have to buy oxygen also. One day the situation will come. If you are going on cutting the trees, if you are encouraging deforestation, definitely there will be no oxygen. Like other things, we have to buy oxygen also. The situation comes. So he is asking, can you buy the sunlight? Can you buy the air? Can you buy the water? Can it be possible? Okay, these all things, they will be vanished if you are going to spoil the nature. They will not be on the earth. Then there will be no nature on the earth. Can you buy them? One day it comes. Every part of the earth is sacred to many people. To my people. Even every shining pine, needle, every sandy moor, shore, every mist in the dark woods, every clear and humming insects are holy in the memory and experience of my people. The sap which courses through the trees carries the memory and experience of my people. The sap which courses through the trees carries the memories of the red man. So actually, he's saying that my people means ancestors, our forefathers, our father, our grandfather, our grandfather's father, great grandfather, our far backward generations will be those people had maintained the nature very well. They saved all plants, they saved animals, they saved nature, they saved lands, they cultivated, they grown all the different plants. See, they had cultivated in a different way. So this credit goes to our backward generation. He's telling that my people in the sense what? His ancestors. My people in the sense his ancestors. They saved the land, they saved the earth, they saved the trees, they saved the sky, everything they saved. But what we are going to do? See, here is a picture. It shows very, very clearly early man. When early man has lived, how he lived, this picture is going to show. We are a part of earth and it is part of us. The perfumed flowers are our sisters. The deep, the horse, the great eagle, these are our brothers. What a beautiful comparison you see here. He's going to compare the nature with the different things. With the different things, he's going to compare the nature. He's saying that we are a part of earth and it is part of us. We are the part of earth and it is a part of us. Earth is one of the part. Without human beings, we can't imagine earth. Right? And even though we will not be living on, we won't live on the earth, there will be no plants, there will be no animals. Even we are going to interdepend on one by one. A man is depending on animal, an animal is depending on the man. So even trees also, we are depending on the trees. Because without trees, we don't get vegetables or fruits or food. right? Everything we are interdepending on each other things, right? So he is going to compare in a very beautiful way. He is saying that perfume flowers are our sisters. Perfume flowers, every flower has its own smell, right? So he is comparing the flowers with his sisters. He is saying that, see, this word, it shows very clearly that how much affection he has started bonding with the nature. What a strange bondage, strong relation he has with the nature. This word is going to show very, very clearly. He is saying that the perfume flowers are my sisters, and the deer and horse and eagle, these are our brothers. So he is not only saying that trees, he is also saying that animals, plants, everything is including in nature. So completely his intention is to save nature. The rocky crest, the juices in the meadows, the body heat of the pony and the man all belong to the same family. So when the great chief in Washington sends word that he wishes to buy our land, he asks much of us. So actually, great chief in Washington, actually first he would like to buy the land of Seattle. Actually, Seattle, he supported the tribal people. Tribes will be in the forest. So tribal people, their main life occupation will be cultivation only. They depends completely on the nature. If 100% will be, 100% if we have considered, among them 90 above people, they will depend on cultivation on nature only. You see, till today also it is going to continue. Without nature, they can't live in the forest, right? We can't imagine nature without these tribes. And tribes, they depends on the nature completely. Even these tribal people also, they used to depend on the nature completely. Their main lifespan is nature only. So, from Washington, a chief, when he had asked the lands of Seattle, first they refused. They don't want to give their lands, even the tribal people and Seattle. The great white chief sends word that he will reserve us a place so that we can live comfortably to ourselves. And he offered one more thing. If you give your land, instead of that, I'll give you the land. To live a happy life, I will give you the other land. He wanted the land. So that's why in return, he will also give a land only. But in that place, they can live completely, but they need the lands of Seattle and the tribes. He will be our father and we will be his children. So we will consider you offer to buy our land, but it will not be easy. But this land is sacred to us. Actually, he wanted to be as a father. Means how a father will take care of the children, will guide them, will protect them, will give everything. A father's responsibility is looking after the children, right? So, even the chief of Washington also has given a word to Seattle and tribes that if you give your lands to me, instead of that, I'll give you the land in another place and you have to take care of that. They had promised it to them. But even though Seattle liked it, but he don't want to give the land. He is not willing to give the land. The reason is that the land which has come to them, it is a great sacrifice of their ancestors. It is a blood, it is their blood, it is their sweat. So there is a memory of their ancestors in the land. See here, from our father, if any property will come, easily we don't sell it. Is not it? It will be a troublesome that it takes much time to do it. Right? It will be a very big and tough task to buy the land or even which had come from our ancestors. Is not it? It is very difficult. So, such a land when it comes, even Seattle also, not only Seattle, even his tribal people who supported Seattle and Seattle had depended on the tribes, that people also they did not want to sell their land because it is their life. It is their life. In that land, they are going to see the blood and sweat of their ancestors. They are going to see the blood and sweat of their ancestors. This shining water that moves in streams and rivers is just water, but the blood of our ancestors. From the streams, rivers, water flows. Beautiful comparison, friends. Just see his emotional speech. emotional speech. Just you try to understand. See here, he is going to compare the streams and rivers the water flows now, that he is going to compare with the blood of their ancestors. See, which is going to flow now, that is my ancestors' blood. He is comparing the water with blood. If you sell your land, you must remember that it is a sacred blood of our ancestors. If you sell your land, you must remember that it is sacred, and you must teach your children that it is sacred, that each ghostly reflection in the clear water of the lakes tells of events in the life of my people. The water's murmur is the voice of my father's father. See, what a beautiful feeling. Okay, dragon, even though you sell your land, just once you think there is a lot of blood of your forefathers in that water. Your grandfather, your grandfather's father, everyone who struggled to save the land, they sweat their blood. When the water is flowing, I don't see water sound. I will see the blood sound of my father. See, he is expressing his pain in words. He is going to compare in a very beautiful way. He's not saying that simply water was flowing in the river. He's saying that my father's blood was flowing in the water. In a form of water in the river. I'm not going to see the water. I'm going to see the blood in a form of water of my father when they were running. So even if you buy land, if you sell land, it is not a problem. But the thing is that you tell your children, you teach your children that these days we are enjoying the land because of our ancestors. Or the people who struggled to save the land, this credit goes to them. It is their blood. It is their blood. In this land, they shed their blood. That's why we are not willing to sell this land. See a person's emotion. A farmer and a person, particularly who depended on the land, even he will die, but he will not be willing to sell the land. Farmer, that's why he has a great culture. Farming is a great job. It is a noblest job, I feel. Those people will not leave the land until they die. Even they will be ready to die, but they don't want to sell the land. Because it is not just an occupation. It is their life. They will see their life in that. That's why they don't leave anything easily. Okay, students? Here we had come to the passage. Mostly we have completed in the page number 68. We'll continue the remaining lesson in the next video. I'm going to give you the homework, students. Just write words and glossary of 4A in classwork. You are not writing now. Many of the books we got incomplete. No proper writing, no proper presentation. I hope you will write well, 9th class students. Even it is a duty I have taken to explain you. Even without our explanation, you yourself has to do. It is the role of you. Just what? It's a lengthy work. There is not much work, right? Text meanings I am telling you, text hard words I am telling you, and text question answers you are writing. Even that also you do. If you don't complete, how it will be? This is not at all fair, students. By being at home, even the schools, all of a sudden if they get started, it will be a bulk work. It restates you. So my advice, it is a humble request to you all to complete your notes properly. Okay, this is your homework. Write new words and glossary of 4A in classwork. Okay, have a nice day. Complete the work. See you in the next video. Thank you so much.